YouTube, new Pumpkin zombie cards are here. We're going to be quickly reviewing some gameplay with these new cards. We're not going to be reading the cards tirelessly. That's going to be boring. Let's just check out the gameplay, and whatever piques our interest, we'll go back to read the card. If not, it's maybe obvious within the gameplay itself. Let's hop in. Hajime.
There can only be one winner, and you're looking at it. Let's go.
We're going to start off with El Exordio Duel, Lista. Let's check out what's good with you. Wow. Bones deck. We're searching for a card. Set a card from the deck. One Call the Haunted. It can be activated this turn. They got this idea from Duel Links where the skills are setting cards onto the field, trap or quick play, and they're activatable right away. Now, this is the second archetype we're looking at where you get to just activate cards the turn they're freaking set. What's going on? So the Pumpkin sets Call the Haunted, and then that Call the Haunted can be activated to reborn that Pumpkin. Why can't Pumpkin just summon from the hand? It's a lot of extra steps. Summon from the deck a level 6 zombie if this card is special summoned. But draw is going to non-target pop the Pumpkin. Okay. And they got a full loss. Oh boy. Ash. Negate. I think they should have made Fedralis ashable. Part of its effect should have been some kind of interaction with the deck, a minimal one, not to make it better, but just to make it ashable, I think would have been a good idea, because damn. Card's too good. Now, Packbit's going to push whatever newly summoned monster we summon, but we could still be triggering that monster's effect before it gets pushed in the back row. What's it going to be? Does that trigger on summon? No. But we have Called By. We lose our Called By and our Pumpkin to one card, the Fedralis. And the Fedralis is on the field also as a body. That card is so good. Send to the graveyard a zombie from the deck or hand. Ash. Negate. All right, sure. Yeah, Fedralis is way too good. Banish a zombie and send a zombie to the graveyard. Banish Ash to send a Mizuki. Mizuki reborn a zombie. What does this one do? Negate and then perform an Exceed summon? What? Okay. Add from the deck a card that mentions, so the deck is all about Call the Haunted. All right. On summon, add a Call the Haunted card. What? You could use a rank 6 as a material to summon this. Is that a new one? Set from up to 3 Call the Haunted plus removal effect. What? Wait, reset Call the Haunted from the grave. Until the end of your opponent's turn, you cannot special summon except zombie monsters or monsters from the graveyard. All right, we got our double Called By and some other card. I don't know what the Exceed does. Maybe the field spell also does something. What? Call the Haunted, reborn the Pumpkin. Pumpkin on summon a monster from the deck. Will monster from the deck turn into a form of disruption? This is it. What are we doing? Opponent removal. You activate Call the Haunted. That's not making sense to me. Well, why is that triggering? It's doing something? Let me just read it. Call of the Forgotten. Call of the Forgotten. When this card's activated, you can set up to 3 Call the Haunteds from your deck into graveyard. If you do until the end of your opponent's next turn, you can't. You're locked into zombies. Once per turn, if you activated Call the Haunted, which we did, so it will trigger afterward, you can target one monster your opponent controls, send it to the graveyard. Interesting. So not in direct chain to your Call the Haunted, but on the resolution, get sending. That's pretty cool. Wait, is that hard once per turn? How many times per turn? Once per turn. Once per turn. What does this zombie do? Card pop. If this card's special summoned and you control Call the Haunted, is it non-target pop a monster or what? Wow, this is all about summoning the Pumpkin. I love this. If this card's special summon and you control Call the Haunted, which the Pumpkin will set Call the Haunted, then you could flip it up to summon the Pumpkin, and then you control Call the Haunted to then summon this, or you could use the field spell to then have the Call the Haunted to trigger this effect, the Pumpkin. What does it do? You target any card on the field to destroy. Cool. Attach opponent's monster. That's an attack position. Just whenever you freaking want? What the heck? Let's read this. Once per turn, you can also Exceed, so we don't care about that. During the opponent's main phase, you could detach 2 or just 1 material if the card's material is an Exceed monster. then target an attack position monster or one monster in their graveyard. Attach it to this card. You can only use this effect. So let's say they have a Murakumo. And so with Murakumo and the prayers, what happens is if you have Murakumo on the field, you activate prayers to tribute off the Murakumo. Murakumo has to activate in a separate chain link. But in response to the prayers, you can attach the Murakumo. And by chaining to the prayers to attach the Murakumo, it doesn't trigger, it's not gonna reborn, it's not gonna search, it's nothing. It's sucked up. That is great. And attached to this card, okay, yep. This is interesting. Another Call of the Haunted, which triggers the field spell to pop that card in the fields. Straight, is it only during the opponent's turn? I forgot. Field spell? Why didn't we activate? Is it only during the opponent's turn? I thought this would activate. If you activate Call of the Haunted, you could target only one monster. It's not any card. So I got mixed up with this one. Destroys any card in the field. The field spell is only a monster. Okay. Summon from hand or grave. What is that thing doing? If you control Call of the Haunted, just summon the Army of the Haunted. So you could special summon this. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you could target a Call of the Haunted in your graveyard, set it. You can't activate the turn it's set though. You can only use each effect, Army of the Haunted. A deck where we are playing 3 Call of the Haunteds. That is crazy. I don't know about you. I like that they are creating synergistic cards and archetypes around the older cards. We have Radiant Typhoon with Mystical Space Typhoon. We have a Call of the Haunted deck. I think they kind of try to do something with the Darkhold Dragon, which if they were to, instead of turn this into an entire archetype, I think that'd be very cool. This is a big fail, but with these newer deck types, I like it. I like it a lot. Let's see some more gameplay. Dual Evolution. Okay, we have set Call of the Haunted and then make it usable right away. We discarded the Pumpkin through the other effect. Punk Seaman, come to us, do your note. Set the called by. You did not discard the Pumpkin because you already have one in the graveyard. Okay. Wait. You're supposed to use it on the Pumpkin to summon a zombie for the deck. What are you doing? Punk is stealing the highlights. What happened to summon a zombie from the deck? What the? Okay, what are we doing with this? A boost. Reborn. Tracker. Oh, there we go. Okay, we're good now. Zombie Vampire. Negate. The mill 4 off of both players' decks mates. Now what? Zombie World's a kind of a floodgate. Not kind of, it pretty much is. Is this a good zombie trap? What does it do? What'd it do? So it wasn't something good before the activation of Dormouse? Nothing before the activation of Chessie? What is that? That trap's got to be so bad. Dark? Oh boy, now it's time. If you control a zombie and a Call of the Haunted, we got both. Target one monster opponent controls, send it to the grave. So we were just trying to have a better highlight. We were not just going to disrupt the Dormouse right away, but we could have sent the Dormouse to the graveyard. If you control a zombie monster, you could banish this card from your graveyard, then target one face-up card you control and one face-up card the opponent controls, send them to the grave. Okay, you can only use one effect of this per turn. So you can't just send them and then use its other effect within the same turn, but on the follow-up or another turn, because it's a trap, you could use it during the opponent's turn. That's pretty good. Damn. So if you have some effect to just send it to the graveyard, it could still be considered a form of disruption. Terraforming. We're out of stuff, though. I mean, we have Zombie World, though. So they're not considered to be Cybers. March here, banish here. Are we not screwed? No, they're not. They can't make a Splash Mage. They're zombies. Okay. Uni zombies here. Zombie Vampire with the mill 4. Impulse, negates. Ooh, there you go. The trap that we could use whenever we want. It doesn't dodge the impulse, but we get to at least get rid of their monster. GW. Reborn Chessie. I think he thought he was going to GW banish his White Rabbit, possibly. Uni Zombie is very slow. Activates, change level, send a zombie. That zombie when sent to the graveyard searching for a Ghost Fusion. Ooh, we got Fusion. Is this new? Fusion Summon. Let's do it. Into a Duke. What? That's not cool. Banish Pumpkin, Reborn back the other zombie. Send a Goblin zombie. This callback can be used right away. Reborn the Pumpkin, please. What? Goblin zombie. Doesn't Pumpkin summon a zombie from the deck? Wait, she could summon the Pumpkin. I think so. Duke of Demise, additional summon. Gazuki, send a Mizuki. Mizuki can reborn the Pumpkin. Add a zombie. Mizuki, reborn Pumpkin, please. Where's my Pumpkin? Draw. Cat is licking my feet, GR. He's biting me. What the heck? Reborn, army. We got a new synchro. No, this is the old one. We are gonna Gazuki, use the effect. I think this one's summon a zombie from the hand. And TP is searching for a March Hare. Okay. Where's the Pumpkin action? Return 2. While you control Call the Haunted, your opponent cannot target zombies you control with monster effects. You can only use each of the following once per turn. You could, I guess it's off the screen what the effect it was doing. Let's see this. How to get rid of 2. If this card is special summoned, you could add 1 Call the Haunted or a card that mentions it. You could detach 1 material, then target up to 2 cards in the field, return them to the hand. Okay. Interesting. I guess you could use this with Punk, because Punk is a good way to go into the zombie vampire being a zombie. Sure, that's a synergy. And let's see the final one from... We have Shark Yu-Gi-Oh! Shark, show me what's good. We saved the best for last, right? Hey, this is not a trash deck. This one's good, right? We have Called by the turn it's set, flip up the Pumpkin. Minimal plays. Summon from the deck. All right. Search. Wow. Return your own Call the Haunted back to the hand. What the? It's not just the opponent's cards. We have all 3 Call the Haunteds face down. Oh my Jesus. Why didn't we overlay Xyz? Isn't the new one really good? You got to overlay this. Xyz this by using 1 rank 6 you control, transfer its materials. What? Did we forget? Set 5. All right. Search. Everything's a machine now. Call the Haunted, Reborn. This does something about negating. This says, I could read right here, if this card is special summon, you could target an attack position monster your opponent controls. That face-up monster cannot attack. Its effects are negated. Also, it cannot be used for a fusion, a synchro, an Xyz, or a link. That is really freaking good. That effect, you know if you play Rescue Ace how powerful that effect is, not being able to use it for the extra deck. Wow, that's a lot more than a negate. That's insane. And then we destroy it anyway. Okay, that can't only destroy a monster, can't destroy the back row Clockwork. Return up to 2 cards in the field back to the hand. Okay, Reborn the Pumpkin. Pumpkin summon from the deck, pop any card on the field. So if you Reborn Pumpkin, you could either summon the monster that will negate and make it so it cannot be used for anything from the extra deck, or you could summon the Mammoth, which could destroy any card in the field. Now, the problem with these cards are they look like they're bricks, right? Do they do anything in the hand? They're level freaking 6s. And does the Pumpkin summon from the hand? That's a big deal. If I only want to play 1 of each, I summon Pumpkin. Can I now special summon from the hand to still get their effect? Probably not, right? Let's see the Pumpkin. Pumpkin. Special summon a zombie from your deck only. So that's not a good thing. But let's see, do they have anything while they're in the hand? Discard this card to add a Call the Haunted or spell that mentions it from your deck to your hand. That's good. So it's not a complete brick. Do we have a card to return this back in the deck, though? I think I saw something to return back in the deck. And then if this card's special summoned, so this card is straight up a brick, it looks like. You do not want this in your hand. Very bad. This is straight up a 1 of. But you could probably play 3 of this, right? Let's see. All right. Very nice. Let's check out the deck list real quick. So I guess here's a sample. Playing 3 of the Mammoth. You know, you really wanted the deck, but if you draw this, that's going to be a bad idea. 3 of this card. I didn't see either of the duelists play. Let's check out what that card is real quick. Let's see. Ectoplasmic Fortification. Activate 1 of these effects. If you control no monsters, add a level 6 zombie or Call of the Forgotten. That's the field spell, right? from your deck to your hand. Zombie monster control gain 400. Then you could draw cards equal to the number of Call the Haunted you control. Whoa. We did have a duel where we had 3 on the fields. You can only activate 1 per turn. You have to activate one of these effects. So draw 1 to 3 cards, or add a zombie or the field spell. Interesting. Okay. I think that's it. Yep. And there you go. Zombie deck. Let's check out the comments real quick. I don't understand why so many people are complaining in the comments. Complaining? Did you expect a funny retrain deck used by a one-off antagonist from the anime to be the next meta? I guess they're upset that this all seems like it's not meta. It looked like at least a fun deck to play. The 920 attack Castle of Illusions retrain would have been so funny. So it looks like the comments, they're not so happy with the deck. Now, mind you, they're reacting to the cards. They're not reacting to gameplay like we are. All the vanilla monsters from long ago turned into a new archetype. That is cool. I do think that's cool. It's good nostalgia. And there you have it. PUMPKING zombie support. Let's go.